rebuilding. The catastrophic failure, a new start, physically, mentally, our careers, our businesses. Step back, first step, next step. The driver in me just wants to get it done tomorrow. We'll do this, do that, let's move this, where are we at with this? You build some confidence, build some self-esteem, start to feel better about yourself. The Silverback Blueprint Podcast, a show for men over 40. We focus on getting stronger, staying motivated, building discipline, creating a community, and becoming truly happy. Hey guys, and welcome to the Silverback Blueprint. How you do one thing is how you do everything. I don't know if you've heard that before, but I've come across it a few times. And when you think about it, it's super powerful, but also really scary. Because think of all the things that you do really well, and think of all the things that you don't do really well in. Think of all the things that you really work hard on. I said hard on. And think of all the things that you shit the bed on. You know, there's nothing like a good Saturday night with a hard on and bed shitting, you know. Anyway, we're not going to go there. So, and it's really true. You know, we tend to want to put all our energies into what we like doing, what we love doing, what we're best at, what we enjoy, what gives us the most immediate gratification. But what happens is when we're not as determined, we're not as focused on the other aspects of things that we're responsible for, that we need to do, that need to get done, it quickly starts making your day difficult. It quickly starts making your process difficult. Like take my cat, for instance. He's fucking losing it. Let's pause for a second here. All right, sorry about that, guys. Luckily, Luke had brought his tranquilizer gun and we shut that cat up pretty quick. He's going to be okay in the next 8 to 10 hours. So what we were talking about is, you know, not taking care of the due diligence we have in other things, like perhaps maybe putting the cat away before we start doing a podcast, right? And it's like I said, it's a scary thing too, because at the same time, you know, we have a lot of things that we're responsible for, that we have to take care of, that are involved in our life. I mean, at this point, you know, our life has complexity. We're not a monk living in a hut, you know, where food's brought to us and we just think all day. Not yet, anyway. But so the thing is, we want to push on the stuff we love doing, right? It's human nature. It's the gratification, like I spoke about earlier. But when you don't take care of the other things, right, it comes back to haunt you. It comes back to bite you in the ass. Finally, something just causes all kinds of calamity and stuff like that. I'll give you an example, a simple one. You know, you haven't done your laundry for weeks. And then finally, you got to get up early. You got a big day. You have an appointment, you know, an important meeting or something scheduled. And you get up and you've got nothing to wear, right? So now you're scrambling. But on the day-to-day, you're like, whatever, I'll do laundry tomorrow. I'll do laundry tomorrow and stuff, right? But there's an example of how these little things come back to haunt us. You know, and what I'm saying too is it doesn't have to be us that does it, you know, and I don't believe in, you know, the woman in the house needs to be the one that does all this. I think we're past that day and age and stuff. I think it's more about schedule, who's doing what, trying to share the responsibilities. I'm a big believer, though, that it doesn't always have to be you that does all the things that you're responsible for as well. You know, and maybe this is because I'm coming more from, you know, the entrepreneur side of things, where we really try to look at the productivity of our time, the value of our time. You know, so if I sit there and I have to spend a Saturday afternoon folding laundry, versus a Saturday afternoon running a bench seminar in my gym with 8 to 10 clients, the best use of my time, business-wise and entrepreneur-wise, and my passion is running that seminar in the gym like I did last Saturday. However, I'm still responsible for the laundry. I'm still responsible to clean up after myself in the kitchen. I'm still responsible to make sure, you know, the lawn gets mowed and stuff. And I don't mean just me personally. I mean, everyone in the house is responsible for it. We use it as a way to teach our kids responsibilities. We use it as a way to teach our kids to become more self-sufficient. So, you know, I grew up on the farm where you worked when you weren't at school, and you worked when you had time off and stuff. And I don't believe in that either. But there's nothing wrong with teaching your kids to work as part of the team for the house. Because let's face it, you know, as a husband and wife, you know, my wife works full time, I have the business, and we do this to help provide for our family, to have a standard of living that, you know, we want to have for our family. The kids can't work, nor should they. So I believe they should help out around the house to help out, help the family, right? At the end of the day, we want a clean house. We want an organized house. We're not neat freaks. There's stuff on the table and stuff. But at the end of the day, we're not hoarders either, right? So that makes a big difference. And, we use it as a way to teach some life skills to our kids so that when they do move out, and like I tell my son, when he's 18, he has to leave. My daughter can stay till she's 35 because I like her, right? But we want them to be self-sufficient, right? At the end of the day, those are some important lessons overall. But there's certain things, that I'll take, that I'm responsible for, that I'll make sure get done. Maybe I hire someone to do it. Maybe I do something in trade. There's a lot of different ways overall. At the end of the day, folding the laundry is just as important as pursuing your passions, right? How we talk to a person is important, no matter who the person is. And I think that's where we need to look at, the standards that we set. The standards that we set for ourselves and the standards we set for our lifestyle and where we want to go with things. I really try to control, again, what we talk about here obviously is controlling your emotions, not get angry. People are going to make mistakes. People are going to let us down because they're human. And then we have to, be careful how we deal with those situations. I don't believe in tolerating bullshit, but at the same token, I also understand that they're human and sometimes they don't know. I understand sometimes that they're human and they have flaws. And sometimes they're suffering. So we got to look at those things, right? So I think it's really important how I talk to someone I really like and admire is the same way, in the same respect I should talk to someone who works part-time for me. It's the same way I should talk to the person at Subway, the sandwich artist, who's making my sandwich. The same way I want to be talked to, with respect, positivity, right? So I think that's the cool thing about how you do one thing is how you do everything. And that's something that, as I look deeper into, I realize that, I need to keep my work area cleaner. I'm one of these, there's two types of people. There's filers and there's pilers, right? More creative people tend to be pilers. So I'm a piler. I know where everything is. It's in that pile. It's in that pile over there. But now as I get older and I realize I'm trying to get more done and I have less energy and time for being derailed and sidelined, I realize that organization is super important. So when I walk into an area and it's neater, I feel better. I feel less just stressful. I feel like there's less noise and stuff, right? I like more and more the clean look of something, the minimalistic look of things. I've been throwing a ton of stuff out overall. So what I have to understand is that when I jump in my car and I really like the fact it's clean, then I got to stop making all the fucking mess in it. That's really the kind of thing we have to look at. And I think one of the things for me is that, I feel like, it's just going to take a lot of time. And, I got this I got to do and I got that I got to do. But when I start getting better at doing these smaller things, in my opinion, that are less worthy of my attention, right? I have to stop thinking that way. It's important that when I walk into my bedroom, I put my fucking laundry away. It's important that when I walk into the kitchen, the sink is clean. Because it's easier when I want to make a pot of coffee so that I can enjoy a coffee, get some energy from it, focus on the work I have to do at hand. And you know what? Putting all my time into work and putting all these things off to the side, I don't get any more done. In fact, I get less done. It's good to take a break. It's good to stand up every 30, 40 minutes from what you're doing. Have a walkabout, right? So while I'm there, and I make myself something to eat, clean up, right? Notice something's missing, a grocery, add it to the list, right? Just be a little more proactive. Think of the team. So think of your house as a team. Think of your work as a team, whether you work as an employee or whether you're an owner of a business. Think of everybody as a team. We talked about before building your dream team, right? But you yourself have to become a better member of that team. And it's to remember that, right? And again, not easy, especially if you haven't been doing it that way, to make those changes and the focus and stuff, right? But it's in those changes. And when things run smoother and they're fluid, things are going to get a lot better overall. And then taking that 10 minutes to do that thing, that right now will take you an hour because you fucking hate doing it and you're going to piss and moan, and you're going to leave it to the last minute until it's a huge thing, until you got fucking 2 sinks full of dishes, right? And it's crazy because we have a dishwasher, so all you have to do is rinse a few dishes, load the dishwasher, turn the fucking thing on at night, and then unload it. Like, come on, right? But again, it's all about the standards that we set. I do want to focus my time where it's best spent for my quality of life, for my passions, for my business. So if I can delegate something, I'll delegate it. If I can systemize something, I'll systemize it. So that the person that's doing the task has something to follow, it's going to make things easier for them. Better expectations. Oh, this is what you want done. Okay. And then something to follow up on. So if I go into work and certain things aren't done, I'm going to like, hey, let's look at those checklists. What's going on? Oh, it's not on the checklist. Oh, well, let's put it on the checklist. Or it's on the checklist, it's not getting done. I'm like, well, why is it not getting done? Because when I go to make a smoothie for a client and I open up the freezer door, and there's no frozen berries, I can't make them the blueberry smoothie that they want. So how come we didn't prepare the blueberries? Prepare the blueberries, right? Well, it turns out that the part-time staff was too busy the night before because he had too much on his plate to do. Okay, let's look at that. Oh, he didn't think about it. Why? Because he didn't check his checklist. Well, let's deal with that. Oh, well, Kurt, actually, we ran out of blueberries 3 days ago. I sent you a text and you didn't go pick some up. Oh, fuck me, that's on me, right? But we have a way of finding out where the breakdown is if we have a system. But at first, it's a pain in the ass to make that system. And I really don't want to leave this conversation I'm having with this client, but I got to go and pick up some fucking blueberries. Why? Because we ran out and I need to make blueberry smoothies. Whereas if I work on getting a little more disciplined, if I treat those smaller things as important as dealing with that client, I would have picked up those blueberries. I would have bought 3 bags. I would have been better prepared. The gym would have been better prepared. And I'd still be able to talk to that client and the smoothies still get made. And then it's a win-win. So that's, I think, where I take that, how we do one thing is how we do everything, right? And I think if we look at it that way, pick 1 or 2 things that, I always talk about the low-hanging fruit, what's easy to do that's going to take you to the next level the fastest, that's going to advance you towards your vision, your goal, and your purpose. But the same thing, too, when we're dropping the ball somewhere, what's the 1 or 2 things that we're not taking care of, that we can start taking care of right away that's easy to get started with, build that momentum, but that'll also make the biggest difference. Right? Pick 1 of those 2 things. Look around. What is it that you're not doing? It's easy. What's the stuff that just you see in plain view? What's the stuff that you get nagged about? When you get fucking nagged, it's because you're not doing something. Whether it's, coming from your spouse, your kids, or from inside your own head. Right? What is it that you hear the most? What's that message you keep getting? What is the world trying to tell you? What is your world trying to tell you? Listen to it and then pick 1 thing. And for the next 30 days, do it as high level as you would your favorite thing. And things will start to change. Again, never easy, but doable, right? The big question I always like to ask myself when I have to get something done, am I the best person for the job? If I am, then do it. If I'm not the best person for the job, if it's not the best use of my talents, can I delegate it? And is it fair? Is it part of that staff's job description? Is it fair to my kids? Is it fair to my wife? If it is, then okay, let's proceed. Then if it's not, do the fucking thing yourself. And as always, guys, part of working hard, motherfuckers. Listen, at the end of the day, guys, we work on our weak links, we solve our problems, and we're going to see a big difference. Head on over to iTunes, leave me a 5-star review if you like. If you're hearing anything that just resonates with you, that you're getting something from this, I'd love it. It helps us out a lot. And as always, guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Hey, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's podcast episode. If you haven't already got your new Work Hard Motherfucker t-shirt, head on over to hostilegear.com, save 20% using the discount code Silverback, and get that bad boy on your back. It looks good. It's slightly offensive. It's a great message. Don't wear it to church, but wear it to any family function. I'll talk to you guys later.